Hey everybody, it's Ann at Fantasy Island Toys. Thanks for joining me again for virtual class. This week we are doing our turtle stepping stone. This is going to be a really fun craft. It's also going to be a very simple craft, but the best part about that is that means that there's not a lot of confusing instructions and we can really take our time and concentrate and make this really, really special. So this one's going to be so much fun. So before we get started, let me show you a couple of supplies that are really good to have on hand. So wax paper, I love using this stuff because all you have to do is put that down and that just gives you a surface to paint on top of, and then that way there's no mess. You can mix colors on top, on your paper. I mean, it's just great. This stuff is just the best. And then when you're done, all you have to do, wad it up, throw it away. It's really, really great. You're going to want like a little cup of water so you can wash your brush out whenever you're going to change your colors. That way your colors don't get all muddy and brown on you. I always keep paper towels nearby, and then even some baby wipes or little hand wipes are really good, or if you have a wet rag, whatever. And then most importantly, either wear an old shirt or get a little apron similar to this that just covers your outfit so nothing gets on there. It's all supposed to be washable paint, but you know, sometimes things happen and those paints just don't want to come out of clothes. We all know that. So let's get started. I can't wait to open this up. Okay, so let's open this up and see what we have in our boxes. All right, so when you get your box open, you've got your paints, your paintbrush, and your turtle. They have this packaged really nicely so nothing happens to it. So you might want to get somebody to help you. There's a couple pieces of tape around holding the little box together. Let's see. There we go. All right. I'll get it eventually, you guys. There we go. All right. So we've got our paints and our paintbrush. And then you just pop your little turtle out. So this is our turtle. So he's like a porcelain material, so you want to be really careful. You don't want to drop him because he definitely could easily break. So we're just going to set that down until we're ready to start. Okay, as I'm getting ready, I'm going to get my piece of wax paper and I'm going to put that down. So I'll have a surface to work on top of. That way I don't get any paint on the office table back here. We would not want that. So I'm going to have that, and then I'll have my paints, pour me a little cup of water for my brushes. I always like to put a couple paper towels down, maybe just two. And I usually just kind of fold them and put them under my water cup, and then that way whenever I use my brush and my paints, when I'm ready to swap to a different paint, I just rinse my brush out, wipe it off, and then that way you can start fresh and your colors won't mix up and get all muddy on you. Okay, so I went ahead and I opened up all my paints. That way I don't have to stop while I'm in the middle of doing it and open up another one. So I just think it's a little bit easier. But if you know you're not going to use any of them, like I might not use the brown, you could just shut it closed for now. That way it doesn't dry out on you. All right, so I've got my little area all set up. So I'm going to swap the angle of the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, so throughout the video, you guys are going to notice that I end up changing the color of my turtle probably, I think it's 3 times. And I did that mainly to show you a couple of different ways that you could paint your turtle. You can come up with some different design ideas. I mean, you can even do polka dots, whatever. But the biggest lesson to learn is that if you don't like the way that something looks, don't worry about it. Don't get upset because you can easily paint over it. Because you'll see at some point, I kind of create a dark purple and I don't end up liking it. And so I end up changing it. And so you'll see that throughout the video and I'll explain when those parts come up. Another thing I noticed while painting is the material that this turtle is made out of, it almost acts like a sponge to this paint. It really soaks the paint in, but that is really awesome because it really cuts down the drying time. I mean, almost as soon as you paint it, it's practically dry. So that's really great for when you're gonna add a bunch of different colors and kind of layer on top of each other. So I was really pleased with that. Okay, so here I decided to create my own color. I really wanted a purple, so I just take some blue and I take a little red and I mix them together over there on the wax paper. And it kind of creates this darker purple color. Now, once I get it onto my turtle, I kind of realize that I don't quite like it, so you will see me cover it up a little while later. I'm going to end up changing it to a lighter purple, so if you want to make your own purple, the only advice I have is just to add a tiny bit of white, and that way it gives it that better purple color. And so here I wanted a different color green, and so I'm just going to mix a little green with the yellow, and that way it kind of gives you a little more of a neon green color. And on the turtle body, this is where you can really explore and be creative. You can do stripes, polka dots, just anything that you can come up with. I really like how these stripes turned out, but you're going to see I am going to eventually change this. I just wanted to give you kind of an idea of something different that you could do. So you'll notice that I'm going to wipe up this little color purple that I made. I just used a baby wipe and just kind of wipe the paint up, and then that way I still have some space that I can create some other colors and not use up all my wax paper. And plus, I didn't want to run the risk of putting my hand in it or maybe even pushing my turtle into that color purple by accident and messing my turtle up. So it's gotta go. Okay, so here's where I decide I need a lighter color, so I'm going to make pink. Just take a little white and you take a little red and mix it up and you have a perfect pink. That's exactly what my turtle needed. Okay, so here's where I decide that purple just doesn't work. It's too dark, so I need to make a better purple. So all I'm going to do is add a little blue to this pink that I made, and finally I get the perfect color of purple. And so I'm just going to paint right over those. Okay, here yet again, I want a different color green, so I'm just going to take a little bit of white and add it to my green, and it comes up with kind of like a lighter mint color green. I really like how that turned out.
So once I have all my little stones on the turtle painted, I just realized that it's not quite what I like. So here we go again, change the body. That's what's great, is that you can just keep painting over it until you're satisfied with the end result. Okay, one more change. So I realized once I looked at my turtle, he was just a little dark. Now my green outlining, it doesn't quite pop like it used to. So what I do is I add just a little bit of green to my white to get a really brighter color of a mint green. And that way, now I see it. That turtle pops it out again like it did with the yellow. So now I'm finally happy with how that turtle looks. So I'm going to repaint him one more time. Now once you're done, don't forget to flip it over and just kind of touch up the edges so that way you don't have anything white showing. You don't necessarily have to paint the entire thing. It's totally up to you. And remember to sign your name and date it. That's always a great thing to do. Okay, you guys, so we got our turtles all done. How did yours turn out? I really like how mine turned out. I can't wait to see pictures. Please post them and share them so I can see them. I think this is a really cool craft. I had a lot of fun experimenting with all the colors. I always think that's really fun, is to mix your own colors and kind of see what you can come up with. That's what makes you an artist. Make sure that you also sign the back of it. Put your name and the date, and that way you'll always remember when you did it and how much fun it was. And then another thought is, if you guys are going to put this outside, you want to make sure that you put some kind of protective coating on it. So maybe like a polyurethane spray or some kind of clear coat spray on it. If you ask mom or dad or whoever's helping you, I'm sure that they will know what we're talking about. But if you're not going to put a spray on it, you just might want to put it like under a covered porch. That way the sun won't fade the colors and nothing will happen to it. But this was really, really fun, you guys. And so next week, our craft is going to be a lot of fun too. Next week, we are doing pirate swords. So you get to choose between 3 really cool pirate swords. And you also have a windmill that you can choose from, or you can choose to do both. It's really, really cool. So I can't wait to get into that one next week, you guys. All right, see you then. Bye. Where do I look? Do I look over here? Do I look up there? Do I look over here? Where's my camera? This, well,
I was going to open the box, but this is like the strongest tape known to man. So let me get some scissors. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. Because he is, it's like a, oh, what's the word? It'll come to me. Okay. Okay, you guys, so we got it all done. How do you like my turtle? I thought it turned out pretty cute. I can't